Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Kamie Crawford, and today I'm by myself. Obviously, Mr. Lonely over here. I don't know if you guys can tell. You probably can. My voice is so fucking ran through. I feel like I have been put into an underground tunnel where I am just being fucking beaten up by large toads. Like, I feel like the toads have jumped into my throat and this is all I have. I don't know what's going on. I literally don't know what's going on. I feel so crazy. I've been traveling for 3 weeks straight and I came back to LA literally for 2 days. I've been on the road. I've been on tour. And every time that I am busy like this, I always just think about Beyonce. Like, how does Beyonce do this? Well, Beyonce has a team of 5,000 people who can help her with everything she needs. But like, it's still a lot to be on and be present all the time. Like, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. But at the same time, I feel very blessed and very honored and excited to be able to do all the things that I'm doing. All the things that I'm doing, I feel really excited about it. I'm fucking tired. I am so tired. I feel like I'm just running on fumes and matcha because I am. That's my only lifeline. Let me tell you about my past 3 weeks. So I first and foremost went to New York for Sports Illustrated swimsuit launch. That was like a week. I went early to do some press, and then we had the launch party in New York. And then the day after the launch party, after we have gotten belligerent and had a good motherfucking time, we wake up early as fuck the next morning to get on a plane to go to Fort Lauderdale, where we then have 3 days of launch and press and exciting things going on in Florida. So I fly to Florida, go there, do the 3 days there. Party, let's all get wasted. It is a fucking time. It's a time. Let me tell you something with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit girls. They are a time. We have such amazing fun together. Like, they are just incredible. I just want to be around them all the time, but my body and my liver cannot withstand. So for those reasons, I have to be out. But yeah, so we did the Florida launch, and then I flew back to New York because life update. Bing. My boyfriend and I are half relocating to New York. This is the news. Start spreading the news. Is it Frank Sinatra? Yes. See? I'm a New Yorker once again. Yes, we are going to be bicoastal. Gird your loins. It's going to be very exciting. Basically, what has happened is his job has asked him to relocate to New York. There are a lot of really great opportunities for him in New York. And so we're going to be half in New York, half in LA. As you guys know, I own my place in LA. So we're going to be here. I'm not selling it. But then we have been apartment hunting in New York. And if you have ever lived in New York, if you've ever been to New York, if you've ever watched Sex and the City, you know that apartment hunting in New York City, is the most soul-sucking, soul-crushing work that you can possibly do in your life. Apartment hunting in New York is like trying to pick up a grain of sand with chopsticks. You can't. Everything just fucking goes like that. Everything just it is the craziest thing. I can't even explain it to you, except for I would rather eat a pair of jeans than go apartment hunting in New York in the middle of the summer. It's fucking crazy. So that's why I went back to New York the first time. We did 2 or 3 days full of just like apartment after apartment after apartment. Street Easy, Trulia, apartments.com, Nooklin, fucking Hot Pads, every single website that you can go on to look for apartments. I have been checking them like it is my full-time job. Because yes, we are going for my boyfriend's job, but I'm doing the apartment hunting. Not that he's not fully capable, but like, I've seen the apartments that he's willing to partake in, and I am absolutely not. Men are so interesting. I feel like you go to a man's house and like he can live off of a fucking beanbag, a cup of noodles, and like 4 walls, maybe in a box, in a U-Haul box. Not I. I need to, like, is there an elevator in the building? Washer drying unit? Is there a doorman? Virtual doorman? Like, I'm asking the questions, you know? And he's just like, where's the train? Who gives a fuck where the train is? Is there washer and dryer in unit? Is it a 4-story walk up? Like, we gotta ask the proper questions, you know? And I feel like this apartment hunt has been a really good indicator of how we work as a team, because he is very much like, you've got it. Like, I'm with you. I'm here with you, but like, you know best. You ask the right questions. And I have been allowing myself to calm the fuck down a little bit and like not be the type A person that I am. I've been, you know, welcoming his opinions and ideas, although we will not be using them. They are welcome. He's welcome to share them. But I know what we need at the end of the day, and he trusts me. So that's a good thing, because I feel like apartment hunting, moving, all of these things can like make or break a relationship, because they are really big moments in your life. They say that like some of the most stressful moments in your life are death, moving, and like a baby. Like there's some like really big moments in your life that can cause a lot of strife and a lot of stress. But we had so much fun apartment hunting. We like rented a car and we're driving around different areas, and you know, we've really honed in on like Brooklyn being where we want to be, because I told myself, and this is why you have to be careful what the fuck you say. You know, I'm a powerful manifester. I always said, after I moved to LA, so I've been in LA for 6 years. I was in New York for 8 years. And I really feel like New York was like a transformative time for me. I became the woman that I am in New York. Like, that's why you get, you know, what you get from me, because she's a New Yorker at heart. And, you know, I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Maryland. So like East Coast is like my vibe. And I always said when I was living in New York that I would never, ever move to LA. I would always be like, fuck LA. I'll never live in LA. LA is fucking whack. Holly weirdos. Yeah. It's not Hollywood, it's Holly weird. And then I was like, okay, I need to actually make some career moves, because what I wanted to do in TV was just not happening for me in New York. Like, New York is very much about like journalism, and like it was just like very strict when it came to TV hosting. And I knew I wanted to do more entertainment. At the time, my dream was to be on E! News, so I was like, I need to be in LA. And then I moved to LA, and I was like, LA is kind of nice. It's actually very nice. The smoothies are great. There's palm trees. What more does a girl need? I fucking fell in love with LA immediately. I never thought that I would. And then I don't think I went back to New York for like, I think I went back like once in my first full year of like moving here. I just was like, bye, like, see ya. And since I have been in LA, and people have been asking me, you know, when you've lived on both coasts and you lived in both cities, the number one question that you get is, well, which one do you like better, New York or LA? And I can appreciate them both for the purposes that they've served in my life and like the moments of time that I've been there. I moved to New York when I was like 17. I left when I was 25. And then I moved to LA, and like from 25 to now 31, I've been here and I fucking love it. I've loved both. But I said that it would take a very special man to get me back to New York. And that's why you have to be careful what the fuck you say, because guess what? Boom. Got one. And look where we're headed. Back to New York. But honestly, I think it's going to be really exciting to have both experiences on both coasts. But for right now, it's just like very stressful, because we're trying to find a place. And apartment hunting while you're on an opposite coast on a different fucking time zone with 3 hours difference is impossible. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's really, really not. Luckily, I have 3 sisters that live in New York now. So like we're able to, you know, bounce ideas off of each other, and like one of my sisters has been sending me places, and like they're willing to go and look at the places for me. But like, y'all know how I am. I need to see shit for myself. I have a virtual tour today at 3:30 p.m. But like, virtual tour, I need to see. I need to like look at the nooks and crannies. Like, what's really going on? Is there a medicine cabinet? Where's the extra storage? When I look at the view, like, what am I seeing? Like, these are things that I feel like I need to be on the grounds. So that's the backstory. Back to, I fly from New York to Fort Lauderdale, back to New York to look at apartments for 3 days. Duds. All of them. Just fucking duds. Everything just sad. No happy, happy, joy, joy. All sad, sad. No bueno. And I was starting to feel discouraged because we were also looking at the end of May. The move-in is July 1st. Bitch. Yeah, around the corner. She is looming. I don't even know. Maybe hopefully this episode will be out before then, but like July 1st, like around the corner. Yes. But the thing about New York is you really can't look for apartments further than like 2 weeks out because shit goes off the market so quickly. It is chaotic. And so, we looked, didn't find anything. We're like, we have to come back. Like, we're supposed to be in the Bahamas right now. But you think I can go to the fucking Bahamas and sip on a pina colada when I don't have a fucking apartment where I'm supposed to be like half living? No, I can't. There's no way. So we decided to go back and visit again sometime in the next like 2 weeks after that. So, and canceled our trip to the Bahamas, to the SLS. Yes, that's where I'm at. And I feel cuckoo crazy bananas. That's why I feel so fucking crazy. And thank God I got my hair in these braids, because if not, a bitch would have been looking haggard as hell. There's no way that I'm going to comb my hair at a time like this. Anyway, so then after New York, the second time, New York, Fort Lauderdale, New York, we take a train to Maryland because my youngest sisters, the twins, graduated from high school. I can't fucking believe it. I just graduated from high school yesterday. How are they graduating? We're 14 years apart. I don't know. But we went to their graduation. It was lovely, but I cried the whole time because, like, those are my children. And it was just like a wonderful time with my family. My dad made crab legs. It was amazing. And then I flew back to LA for 2 days. He flew somewhere else for some work. And we separated for like a week because we were in 2 different places. I go to LA and then I fly to Miami for Miami Swim Week, which you guys know I've been posting. Everyone's been giving me so much love in my photos. Thanks, y'all. Which was so much fucking fun. But like, just imagine my spirit and my soul by the time I got to Miami. Also, my period was coming. So like really unwell, just like not in a good space, because I was just like really afraid that it was going to come. And then of course it did. The day of the fucking show, that I had to be in a very tight bikini type of one piece. It was a one piece, but it was like a huge cutout. So it was basically a bikini. What do? We just keep rolling through the punches. What other options do we have? So go to Miami, do 3 days in Miami, I think 3 or 4. I don't even fucking know. It's a whirlwind. It's such a blur, like red carpets after red carpets. And it sounds like very like, wow, like, oh, glamorous. It is not, bitch. It is not. It is not all glitz and glam. Okay. A lot of it is very, very tiresome because you have to be on. It's not just like 3 weeks of work. It's 3 weeks of you being the work. Like you are on the whole time. And it was amazing. But then I also knew that I had to fly back to New York immediately after to look at more places. So I'm literally like preparing to host the red carpet with my girl Nicole, literally the same day that I'm messaging real estate agents and being like, can I see this place on Monday at 3 p.m.? It was just a lot. It was a lot on top of a lot on top of a lot. Fly back to New York, go look at places, found 2 places that we are very, very excited about. And I think we're going to apply to one. So that's been my past 3 weeks. I feel like I've lived many, many lives in the past 3 weeks. And hopefully we can call this apartment search over and done with, because I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Like, I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. And then we have to fucking prepare for a move. Like, and I don't even know what to pack. Like, if anyone is bicoastal or like, I don't know, because I've never fully lived in one place and fully lived in another place. And like, I don't know which place am I going to be 70% in LA and 30% in New York. I don't know. But like, I have my things that I like that I want to take with me. Like, my boyfriend and I were talking and he was like, I just feel like you're not like fully conceptualizing this like move or this bicoastal situation. And I was like, I'm not, because like I really like my plate set. And he was like, okay. Thank God he's patient. He's patient for the both of us, because I have zero patience. He has all the patience. And I was like, I really like my plate set. And he was like, okay, so like that's why you can't conceptualize the being bicoastal thing. And I was like, well, yeah, because like it took me a really long time to find a plate set that I really like. And like I sourced them, and like it just took a long time for them to come, and like I just don't know, like what am I gonna do, like what kind of plates are we gonna have in New York? He literally was like, baby, they have plates in New York. And I was like, I know, but like it took me a really long time to find these fucking plates. I'm sure that they still have the same plate set online that I can also order, but like it's just like those things, you know? It's just those things. And I was talking to somebody recently who is bicoastal, and she was just saying you have to get 2 of everything. But I'm like, but I don't want to put 2 of everything in an apartment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my home here is my home. So like, I don't want to buy a bunch of shit twice. You know what I mean? Because like so basically this is our plan. We are renting to buy, not in the same place, but like, you know, the plan is for us to only rent for like a year and then look for a house that we want to buy, because he's very much about home ownership. Obviously, so am I. So we're going to be looking for a house. So like, I don't want to fill up this apartment with shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about? So I feel like I need to look into and use my resources. To look into like furniture rentals and things like that, because like, I really don't want to buy shit except for my plate set. I need my plates. They're just like really cute, like really, you know, like aesthetically pleasing plates. Yes. But overall, I am excited about the opportunity, because like, you know, my boyfriend was saying in like 2 years or so, we could have a family, and like, this is our time to like really just do what the fuck we want to do with our single lives without kids, and like just enjoy each other in a different way and like in a different place. So he's really excited. I'm really excited. We're just both fucking exhausted, bitch. I feel like my eyeballs are gonna fall out of my head. But it's gonna be exciting. And it's just different when you're with somebody who like is so intentional and like has actual plans for your future. Those things are just really, really special. So like even him taking the opportunity to go to New York for his job, he was very much like, I have to talk to Kamie first and see like what she wants to do. And it's a we thing. It's our thing. It's not just his thing. And yeah, that means a lot to me. So I love you, boo. So that's where we are. And yeah, prayers up. But, you know, anyway. Okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's talk about you. What's going on in your lives? What's the tea? What's the drama? I don't know if you guys have seen that TikTok trend where this girl, it's like a stitch, and she's like, what's the drama? Like, I want to know the tea. Like, what's going on? And people will tell their stories about like the drama going on in their lives. I watch every single one, because I too want to know the tea. I want to know the drums. Okay, let's see what you guys are writing in about this week. I am excited to hear about it. Okay. Hey, bestie. I need some honest advice. This past week, I found out this girl who I've been seeing lied to me 6 months ago. When she broke it off with me, she said that it was because she was too busy and has a trip coming up. I called BS, and I kindly asked, is there someone else? And she simply said no. And then when I asked, are you sure? Because all this time I've been stressing that maybe you found someone else, she said no again. And I even praised her for being loyal. Long story short, I recently found out through her TikTok that she was lying to me. She was seeing someone else while she was seeing me, and even took them on a trip 2 days after our breakup. When I first met her, I told her I have trust issues. And if you like someone else, please just break it off. But she didn't do that. She hid it from me for a month. So my question is, I still follow this girl on Insta. Should I DM her and tell her off? Or should I just forget about it, post a thirst trap, and let her see that I blocked her? I don't know. Please help. What's your opinion? Listen, I feel like I probably, if I were you in this situation, I think that I would just move on, because what the fuck is the point? Like, she's just gonna go, if she's in another relationship, here's my thing. I always am more self-preserving in a way of like, you're not going to ever tell anybody else that you got one up on me. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like, the thought of her telling the girl that she's dating, oh my God, my fucking ex just DM'd me and told me off because she saw that I was talking to you. That, I can't have that. You're not going to embarrass me. So I'm just going to pretend like I never met you. You never met me. Block, move on with my life. That's probably what I would do. Now, if you feel like you need closure from the situation, then I guess you could have a conversation. But like, what is that going to do? She's already moved on. It's time for you to move on. So I feel like I would just get a head start on that. She lied. She's a liar. She lied to you. She's going to probably lie to her next relationship. Like, clearly there's something that she needs to figure out within herself. So I say post your thirst traps, but not for her, for your next boo, because who gives a fuck about her at this point, you know? Okay, here goes the next one. I'd like to remain anonymous, but after healing from my past relationships, I finally found a man that sparked my interest. He seemed like he was genuine, but he left me on red several times. But he'll still like my story and is active on social media. I feel confused as to why he would make such a fast effort the first few days and then drastically pull back. I'm new to dating as I was married for most of my 20s. Is this the dating game? And is this what it's like now? Because baby, it's trash. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of times when we first meet someone or start talking to someone, we expect a lot more from them than we should. Especially if you've been in long-term relationships, you're probably expecting for people to treat you like your long-term relationship. And that's just not realistic. Like, I've had to tell myself, and I've also had to tell friends of mine recently, like, it's still new. It's still very fresh. And just because you found someone who's piqued your interest doesn't mean that you should then take yourself off the market. You should be on the fucking market until they take you off the market. I used to tell my boyfriend when we started dating, like, I made it clear, not in a rude way, but I would just be like, yeah, I'm still going to keep my options open and I'm still going to be dating, even though I wasn't. But he didn't even fucking know that. I wasn't. But I would tell him, like, you know, I'm keeping my options. Like, if you want me off the market, you got to snatch me off this motherfucker. I would say it straight like that. And, like, that's real. Because if you're going to just lay all your cards out on the table, put all your eggs in one basket with somebody who hasn't done the same for you, that does more for them than it does for you. Like, you're then cutting yourself off to all the other options. And God forbid this doesn't work out. You're going to hate this person because you feel like they wasted your time. But in reality, maybe you allowed your time to be wasted because you gave them all of it instead of sprinkling a little bit, or at least tricking your mind into thinking that you had a little bit over in this other pile that wasn't just over in their pile. So I think that, you know, you gotta manage your expectations at the same time. It doesn't necessarily mean that dating is trash. It just means that, like, you have to move a little bit differently and not in an acrimonious way, just like in a strategic, smart way. I know a lot of times, though, my friends will be like, I'm tired of playing games. Like, I don't want to play a game. But dating is a little bit of a game. Like, it's kind of inevitable for it to be a little bit of, you know, a chess match, and you don't have to play the game in a way that compromises you and your peace. Like, it shouldn't necessarily be like a negative or like a what's the word that I'm looking for? Lord have mercy. The fact that I even have words to formulate on this episode today is fucking that in itself. I'm going to treat myself to something today. It doesn't mean that it has to be malicious or like with malicious intent, like the games that we play, but like you do have to you gotta do things a little bit differently. So him being on social media and liking your story, like, he's allowed to do that because he follows you and you follow him and you've allowed him to have access to your social media. He's allowed to do that. Him dating other people, he's allowed to do that. He's single, you're single, they're allowed to do that. These are things that I had to tell myself also that I didn't like to hear, but I had to like remind myself, this is a single person. He has an interest in me, I have an interest in him, but we're not exclusively dating each other. So technically, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, but in turn, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. So do with that what you will. Okay, here we go. Any advice for a 30-something moving to New York, Brooklyn to live with her boyfriend? Twin, where have you been? I've been living alone for 10 years. Honey, we the blind leading the blind because I don't fucking know. I literally don't know. I have been asking people for advice too because this is my first time. So, pause. My boyfriend and I were supposed to be moving in together. This is the conversation that we've had on this podcast several times. This is what we're supposed to be doing this month in June. And then, of course, like they say, when you make plans, God laughs. God was like, haha, just kidding. You're going to be bicoastal. And you're going to be living with each other in 2 different coasts, in 2 different cities. So it's also going to be new for me to be doing this. And it's also going to be Brooklyn. So like, I guess I'll see you in Brooklyn, babe. I've been asking people for advice on the same thing of like, how do you do it? What do you do? I think if you already live with someone who is like clean and, you know, willing to take out the trash and like things like that, those are already like good positive steps towards living together. My boyfriend and I don't live together now, but when he comes over, he takes out the trash. He fills up the fridge a lot. Like, you know, he does these things without me having to ask. So I think like, I wouldn't say like designating responsibility, but making sure that it's like mutual responsibility is good. If I cook, he'll cook like the next time, or, you know, whatever, so that it feels like it's equal. But child, I don't got no motherfucking advice. You'll probably maybe be living together before me, so maybe you can give me some advice because I'm not sure. But I do know that as someone who really has always valued and protected her peace and alone time, I know that I'm with the right person, because when I'm having my alone time, I'm like, oh, I wish he was here. Like, I wish that I was with him instead of just being by myself. And sometimes I do need the time. Like, well, when we were apartment hunting in New York, I was just like having a mental break. I was just like, I need to be alone for like 5 seconds. And like, he was talking to me and like, I just didn't want to talk. And I felt so bad because we're like in this tiny ass hotel room. And he was like, I'm going to go downstairs for a second. Because I was like, I just need quiet. Like, I just need quiet. And he left. And he was gone for like maybe 30 minutes. And like the second he left, I was like, oh, I miss him. So I feel like that also, like, if you enjoy spending your time with the person that you're going to be living with, that's also a good thing and like a positive omen for what it would be like to actually live with them full time. But yeah, I would just say being courteous, being, you know, cognizant of somebody else is living with you. So like, you got to keep your space clean and things like that for both of you. Like, maybe have those conversations of like, what are the expectations? Who's going to be supplying what for the place? Like, you know, do you have like a joint account that you're going to be using for all these expenses and things? Like, what's the vibe? But yeah, shit, I have no clue. So fuck what I'm talking about. Who even knows? Who even knows? Who even gets it? Somebody listening understands, and somebody's screaming like all the best tips into their sound system. But I'll let you know. But by then it'll be too late for both of us. Okay. Let's do another one. Hi again. I've been in my current relationship for almost 3 years now, and we haven't made that secondary jump that I feel is needed. We don't live together, etc. And I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt in that he doesn't currently have a job, which is also a problem with him being 31 now and seemingly having little interest in finding one. But to make up for not living together, I am trying to plan our first vacation. It is a very affordable one, in my opinion, but he says that he cannot afford it. Yet, he spends this type of money doing things with his friends all the time, but claims that he doesn't have the money to go on a vacation right now, and he doesn't have a job. I've made comments here and there about how he can afford to do these things with friends, but he doesn't view it the way that I do at all. I just feel so stagnant in our relationship now, and I don't see us taking that next step. Help. Should I write it out a bit longer and give him more of an opportunity to find a job and make those next steps for himself and me, or move on? It's been this way for the majority of the 3 years that we've been together. While I've been a full-time student and working 1 to 2 jobs at a time, and now graduated and employed full-time. Not to mention, he also doesn't have his own place right now and is sleeping on a friend's couch. I'm struggling between being a good person and being there for him as I have been, or giving up and moving on with my life. Am I the toxic one for even considering leaving him in the state that he's at? Or is it my relationship and I'm valid? I think you know the answer to this. I think you know the answer to this. Miss Girl. Where do you want me to begin? Let's go back to intentionality and what I was just talking about being with someone who has intentions and plans for you and your future. There are things in life that we can give grace to. Sometimes people are going through shit. Sometimes maybe he has applied for 10,000 jobs and just like nobody's gotten back to him. Maybe he's going through depression and it's hard for him to even think about trying to apply. There are a lot of things that we can give grace to, but none of those things are things that you mentioned. And so for those reasons, I'm going to proceed the way that I would proceed. He doesn't have any plans for you, for your future, or for himself. Not in this immediate moment. And you, quote unquote, being there for him is not helpful, because it doesn't seem like he needs help, because it doesn't seem like he wants help, because it seems like he's very comfortable where he's at. And part of that could actually be you being there for him, making him feel comfortable, because he has a sense that he has his shit together because he has a relationship. But what is he doing in that relationship that is making you feel secure? Like, it sounds like you're dealing with a lot of insecurity, not like, you know, relationship insecurity or like you're an insecure person, but you're dealing with a lot of insecurity because of lack of stability, while he gets to feel secure and stable in your relationship, but has all these other insecurities around him. It's like a false sense of security for him. He don't got no plans, baby. So I'm just saying, you're trying to go on a vacation. You worried about the wrong things. You need to be going on a vacation with your girls, a breakup trip. You need to break up with him. You need to break up with him. I hate to be the one to say it. It just seems like you have your shit together and he fucking doesn't. And he's okay with that. It's one thing when you have your shit together, there's always going to be ebbs and flows. Michelle Obama's talked about this, the fact that her and Barack have been on different wavelengths throughout their relationship. And then he became the president of the fucking United States and like she rode for him, but they had ebbs and flows. It just seems like you're flowing and he's ebbing. It's not, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. So like, are you okay with that? Are you okay if 3 years from now you're still looking at the same situation, the relationship is still the same? Or are you ready to move on with your life? And are you with him because you feel bad for him? Or are you with him because you love him and you believe in him and like you see his passion and his growth in other areas? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like you're in a pity relationship and you deserve better than that. And he deserves better than that. He deserves better for himself, but he has to give it to himself. He can't get it from you because you're not his employer. You're not his landlord. He don't even got a landlord because he's sleeping on his bestie's couch, which is nothing wrong with that. If he was actually like grinding it out and trying to make something of himself in his life. And I hate to fucking drag him. Lord, forgive me. And sir, whoever you may be, if you're listening to this, am I wrong? I don't know. But it just seems a little bit. And then like what? You're popping bottles with your friends in the club, but like, you know, priorities. They seem a little bit fucked up, if you ask me. So I would just, you know, the summer is here, honey. Go ahead and grab you a sundress out the closet and go on vacation with your friends. You don't have to, like, I'm not saying that you have to date someone who's in the same financial boat as you. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is that you need to be with somebody who has like a drive and purpose for their future when you also do, because you're always going to look down on them like they are a project. And it sounds a little bit like that's where you're at. So break up with him? ? I don't know. You tell me. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go shut the fuck up now because my voice is already dwindling out. And if you made it this far listening to me, you are entitled to compensation. I might have also given you mesothelioma through the microphone because this voice sounds cursed. If you ask me, can you imagine? I had full on laryngitis also after Fort Lauderdale. Like I could not speak. I think it was the best 3 days of my boyfriend's life because I was like squeaking. Like he would say something like that's me yelling about apartments. And he's like, sweetie, okay, all right. I'm like, laryngitis is not fun for somebody who uses their voice as like their instrument, as their tool. This is my tool. This is all I've got. I couldn't use it. So I had to use my body on the stage at Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm on a low point. Look at my shoulders. I have nothing, but I have y'all. So that's all I need. All right. I'll talk to you next time.